everyone. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Thank you very much for joining for one more session today. This is my second one, so I thought I'll bring something interesting. The first one we've discussed more about how the laws actually apply and what is dominant gene and recessive gene, and how multiple genes, or you can say multiple alleles, inside a heterozygous, or you can say non-homozygous zygote fight with each other, and out of that, one of them wins. But in this case, when we discuss about Mendelian genetics and its laws, of course, just like in any other field of science, whenever you come up with some idea in science, there will always be people to test it out and give counteractive measures as well. They will always try to find out what might be the loophole for whatever law you have established. That's how science progress. And that is one of the way Mendel's laws of inheritance also have limitations that people have figured out. Now, that's what we're going to talk about today in this small mini session once again. My name is Sourajit. Thank you very much for joining this YouTube channel. Try to share it with your friends so they also get to know what we do here at ODA Class. We love teaching and what can be teaching plus the technology that we have right now. You can not only join the YouTube class with me, you can also check out our weekly course, which goes for 1 week, and it includes everything that you can ask for. It includes teachers from IITs and NITs who will be teaching you science and maths. It also includes study material, books, as well as a personal teacher. The personal teacher one is kind of the best feature, I would say, because in our school also, no, at one point of time when we used to be students, a lot of the time we never really got to get the extra amount of attention and support that we should have gotten, which would have made a huge impact in our life. So right now we have come up with the idea where you can actually access all of it. There will be a single teacher who will be assigned to you, who will take care of your doubts, help you out with your project thinking, and of course critical growth of your mind as well. Now if you want to go ahead and enroll for our 1 week course, there's a link on your description. Make sure you see it, click on it, and you can be amongst the lucky students who are actually taking advantage of this entire process and learning from us at the same time. Now, at the same time, I want you to remember that this course fee of 29 rupees is only for limited seats. And if you want to take one of those limited seats, make sure that you go to the link immediately, click on it, click on enroll now, and take your parents' help and finish the payment of 29 rupees. Your course will start from Monday. I hope you will wait till then. Now, you don't have to wait with me right now. Let's start with what we have in the store for you today. My name is Sourajit Das. You can call me Jeet sir if you like. I'm a molecular biologist who used to be a scientist. Now I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for more than 6 years now. And I'm hoping today I will be able to make you understand the limitations of Mendelian laws of inheritance. As I was just saying, that in case of science, whenever you give laws or theory of anything that you discover, there will always be a set of people who would try to test it out and see whatever you have said is correct or not. That's how science grows, actually. Don't always think that if I say something, it is there. It is there. There will always need to be checking and auditing of what you discover in the natural world. And that's the reason why even Mendelian laws of inheritance, even though they were revolutionary in terms of understanding how our entire, one second, how our entire thing works here, we still had to find out a way to understand why some of the phenomena that we actually encounter doesn't get explained by these laws. Now, before you go to the limitations of the laws, let's understand what are the laws first of all. Number one is the law of segregation. Segregation basically means separation. Law of segregation says that in from our body when we are making gametes, gametes are basically the reproductive cells of animal, male gamete, female gamete. You have learned about gametes in terms of plant as well in your 7th standard basics of reproduction in plants. So when it comes to gamete production in our body, whatever alleles of a single gene we have in our body, they will get separated from each other. If my cells contain two copies, remember our cells contain 23 pairs of chromosome, pairs, same type of two chromosomes together, but the bits and pieces information that the chromosomes contain, each of them, are not the same. They usually contain two different copies of a single gene. Sometimes both the alleles of that gene might be identical. Sometimes it might not be. So when it is not, or whenever it is, they will still get segregated when gametes are being produced. Because during gamete production, 23 pairs of chromosomes will be separated into half-half, 23 chromosomes, 23 chromosomes. Now, when it comes to your second rule or law, let's just say, the second law says that second law of independent assortment. Now, first law says that the alleles of a gene will get segregated or separated from each other when gametes are being produced in our body. And the second law supports the first one and says that the separation that's going to take place will be entirely independent from anybody. Now, imagine this. Okay, there is a gene that decides the color of my hair. There is a gene that decides the color of my eye as well. Both of these genes are separate from each other. Now, these genes might have multiple versions of it. Some people might have a allele for the hair gene that gives you curly hair. Some people might have a allele for straight hair. Whereas some people might have a allele for blue color eye. Some people might have a allele for brown color eye. But in case you have these some of the copies in your body and your gametes are being produced, it will never happen that the gene that controls your hair color will be like, no, I will take the gene that controls the eye color with me. It's not a friendship. When they get segregated, they get independently segregated into their respective gametes. This entire study was done on pea plants, mutter, as you know already, butter paneer ka bhai jo hota hai. And this is one of the famous research that has been done by a man of religion. Gregor Johann Mendel was a monk as well. And after his death, almost 7 to 10 years later on, he got the recognition for his work. And while the recognition was going on, we also tried to understand why there are many other ways where the rule that he has given us does not explain a lot of things. Okay, so first thing first, let's understand how this actually works. As we have already understood that there are alleles of a single gene. Now, when it comes to alleles of a single gene, remember that these alleles, they compete with each other. Now, if my mother gave me one of the alleles for blue eye, my father gave me another allele for brown eye, both the alleles will fight with each other. Who gets to express the most? The one who gets to express the most is the one who is called as the dominant allele. Whereas the one that does not get expressed much is called as the recessive one. Now, you might have multiple alleles for the same gene, but there will always be only one that wins the competition. So, number one, only one dominant gene, or you can say allele. Rest of them that does not win the competition are recessive one. Example here, as you can see, this plant, or you can say, pea plant, has two different alleles for the same thing, green color seed and yellow color seed. But because yellow color seed is dominant, what do you think? What will happen to this? The yellow color allele will win, and the seed color will eventually be yellow instead of green or anything mixed up. Now, hold that thought. It's not always the same, actually. That's what we're going to talk about today, right now. In case of dominance, when it comes to a allele showing its dominance, like मैं ज़्यादा powerful हूँ, बाकी सब तुम तुच्छे हो, it doesn't happen in case of all the living organism. There were phenomena where we have noticed that dominance do not occur in every case of the contrasting effect. Let's just say I have two different alleles for the same thing, but for some reason, the dominant allele is not able to show its entire power. And this is where everything broke, by the way. This is where everything went into complete dismay. We could not understand how can this be possible. And to understand that there were two phenomena that we have understood that can help us make more sense. One is called as codominance. Another one is called as incomplete dominance. I'm sorry for this one, but it is written as incomplete dominance. Now let's talk about one of those first of all. What is incomplete dominance? As the name says, incomplete dominance. It's like, just as a joke, in our Indian patriarchal society, usually the man of the house is considered to be the dominant one. Okay. So even though man is the dominant one, a lot of the time your mom controls your dad, isn't it? If your mom says that "Hey, we need this," your dad somehow, subsides and tries to do whatever it is required. Okay. So same thing is happening here. Even though your dad is like the dominant one, supposedly, but he's still not able to express his entire power to it. There is somebody who is, regulating that expression. Same thing is happening with incomplete dominance. Let's just take two parents. One parent of the plant produces red flower, beautiful bright red flower. On the other hand, the other parent, white flower, doesn't even have the gene that gives the red color. Okay. Now, when they cross in the next generation, we have found out in the next generation, all the baby plants that grew up to produce flower started producing pink color flower for some reason. Neither of them were red, neither of them were white. It was a mix up of both the colors. Now, we were confused like, well, how is this even possible? So, after a lot of studies, what we realized is that one of the dominant gene, that is the red color, is actually expressing itself, but the white color that is given by the recessive gene, that recessive gene is somehow not letting the red color gene express 100%. It's letting it express around 50 to 60%, because of which you get a mixed color. Okay, you get a mixed color of pink. This is called as incomplete dominance, because the dominance of the red color allele here is not able to get completely through. Somebody is stopping the process. So in this case, the dominant gene fails to express entirely due to the influence of the recessive gene, causing incomplete expression of the dominant gene. So you have a dominant red color gene here and recessive white color gene here. And after the entire fight and everything, they are getting an incomplete red color, which is pink. Now, this is about incomplete dominance. Let's talk about codominance. As the name suggests, what does codominant mean here? Codominance means both the people are dominant. Now it's not a patriarchal society anymore. It's a um, equal right that currently we are fighting for. You guys also know about this. You also want your female friends to have the same kind of strength in society as you guys have as a male counterpart of the society. Equality. Same here, that is what is happening. Both the parents are giving one or the other dominant gene, and both the dominant genes are like, hey, तुम अकेले क्यों express होएगा? Why not me also? So they fight with each other, and then they decided like, okay, let's call a parlay on this, and you also express, I also express, both of us express, both of us are happy. We do it with a cooperation. That's why we call it as co-dominance. In this case, the two dominant genes, they express in combination instead of individual expression. Okay, causing both the dominant genes to express but not completely. Let's just say we have a dominant allele A and dominant recessive allele B. So in case of that, when you go to codominance, either they are combining their effect, or instead of recessive, if you have another dominant allele B, they will both combine and give you codominance of AB. Now, just to give you an example with this, let's talk about how our blood grouping actually works. In case of blood grouping, we basically have only two main dominant genes, okay, and one recessive one. The recessive one is the O group, dominant one is A, another one is B. So when it comes to the combination of your blood grouping, in case by some certain chance, let's just say you ended up with, eh, sorry, let's just say you ended up with one dominant allele of A and one recessive allele of 0. So the expression of the A will be so much that 0 gets completely cancelled out, because of which your blood type will be A. In case of the same thing that happens with B, maybe there is a recessive one and a dominant B, you get the B version of it. If let's just say somebody got both the recessive genes of OO, then your blood group will be O. But the special case here is if you somehow get the dominant A gene from your one parent, another parent gives you the B gene, none of them wins. Both of them will express together and give you the AB group. The A gene expresses a type of protein on your RBC, whereas the B one also expresses a different type of protein. So instead of canceling each other out or fighting and exhausting themselves, both of them express, both the proteins are now present on your RBC, giving you an entirely new set of blood group. That is how both these cases can explain what is going wrong. Even though Mendelian genetics is the stepping stone for us to understand how things actually work in terms of genetic inheritance, we still need to understand a lot more about why these special cases are happening. Even though we know that some alleles will be more dominant than the other, why do we still see codominance and incomplete dominance? Not only that, we have also realized that the laws of Mendelian inheritance usually works with a very small set of genes. If we take in larger set of genes, the rule just goes null completely. We have also realized that there is a rule that follows in terms of your chromosomes. There are few genes who actually carry each other together. They don't segregate independently completely to their gametes. More on these topics in the upcoming videos as well. If you want to check out my other videos on Mendelian genetics, make sure you go check out our page. You can find the rest of them there as well. Make sure you check out our ODA app as well. This is a very interesting place where you can study. I'm sure by the amount of millions of students that already study with us, if you check out in your circle, you will find one or two friends who are already enjoying our classes. So if they could do it, you can enjoy it as well. Come join us for 1 week of course, get taught by excellent teachers with a study material filled curriculum and a personal teacher, of course, which is a great addition for your understanding and growth of any kind of subject as well. Not only that, not only you can join for the course, you can actually earn from it. I know it sounds bonkers, but it's true. When you learn with us, we actually give you a semi-crypto version of a coin called as ODA coin. Four of these coins are actually valued 1 rupee, and you can collect these coins by answering questions, doing your assignments, making sure that all your classes are attended properly. So once you get a lot of coins, you can actually use them to buy interesting stuff such as all these gadgets. So do not delay. If you want to, go ahead and enroll yourself. The icon is on your screen, or you can check it out in the description as well. Make sure that you finish the payment in one go, otherwise, the payment gateway might not work. Also, share our video with your friends as well. Let them know what you have learned today. If you have enjoyed the class with me, I would love to take more and more on the same topic. Let us know in the comment section what do you want to learn about in the next upcoming videos from me. That's all for today. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you very much and keep watching.